Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed? Are you tired of the stress, the uncontrollable anxieties in your life? Are you tired of just feeling completely out of control in a chaos-driven environment? Stay tuned with me today, folks, as I'm going to dive into what the power of setting boundaries is all about. Before I get started, if you would please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with your friends. It really helps our channel so that we can grow and really help create a change in today's chaotic driven environment where so many people are just trying to navigate through life. So my mission here is always going to be helping people use the tools that I have used in order to create a life full of joy, full of abundance, full of happiness, full of the things that I believe is the real, for me, American dream, but I believe it's a worldwide dream. I believe we all just want to be free. So as we dive into today's topic, the first thing I want to warn you about is that the biggest thing with setting boundaries is learning the word no. Most of us don't like to hear the word no, so we don't like to say the word no, but it is pivotal. It is drastically important in you setting boundaries with yourself, with your friends, with your family, with work. These are the three most common things in life that we struggle with when it comes to setting boundaries. So first and foremost, what are the importance of boundaries? Well, just like anything in life, the importance of boundaries are to protect you from the outside situations. We have walls that wrap around prisons. We have our car doors that keep the noise out. We have the windows that keep the rain out, and then people tint their windows. These are all just generic boundaries. But the importance of those boundaries is to help you feel more comfortable and safe. There's a lot of safety in the word no. So if you are not comfortable with the word no, then this is definitely not the podcast for you, because I severely embrace the word no. When you're setting the word no, it is very important to not just use it in a format where no one is used to hearing it from you before. So when you're setting your boundaries, I highly recommend you first set your boundaries with yourself. What are the things that are going on in your life that are causing struggles for you in getting to the place where you want to go? This one seems counterproductive because the first one I'm going to go to is your social media. But if your social media is not serving you in a way that brings joy, that isn't limiting you from the things that you are going for, if it's not just a way for you to pass the time, if you are actually using it for something that is going to benefit you, then that is the difference. You first need to learn, and I do this all the time. I was doing it right before I recorded this podcast. I was on YouTube and I was doing some research about some things, and then I like to take a little bit of a break because I've been watching Andrew Huberman's podcast, and he talks about the lengths of time in which you should study things and the best way for it to hit your brain. But I jumped into just watching videos that I'm entertained by, and I know that I needed to sit down and record this. So as I was watching, I'm halfway through and I just say, Brian, no, stop. You had a plan today and don't let it get away from you. So I shut it off, put my phone on vibrate, and I focus on me. Speaking of the phone, when you're setting boundaries, my phone from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. is on Do Not Disturb. Somebody texts me that shouldn't text me. The only people in my phone, and you can do this on every phone, is you can set it to Do Not Disturb. However, people that are in your favorites, such as your family, or people that are important to you, so you don't have to worry about not being there when someone needs you, like an emergency. They can get a hold of you. Those are settings on your phone. Technology today makes boundaries the easiest thing possible. So I like to set my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I also tell people, hey, if you're trying to get a hold of me after 8, it's not going to happen, okay? My parents, my other relatives, my wife, and a few chosen others are the only people in my favorites that can get a hold of me in case of an emergency. Everybody else is just going to have to wait. Those are my boundaries. But I have let people know what my boundaries are. So as you first set the boundaries with yourself, start off very simple. What are the things that are causing you a struggle in your life that causes stress, that causes anxiety, that causes you to just want to pass the time and give it away to nothing just so you can feel maybe just a little bit better? But more often than not, when you're done binge watching everything and you had a bigger plan, you're just going to feel worse at the end. This is another reason why boundaries are so drastically important. The next one I want to talk about quickly is work. Man, this has been the hardest one for me because I am a workaholic. I am an addict. Workaholic is part of that. And I get very caught up in the rat race of wanting to add value to others and sacrificing my own mental health in the process. So when I moved to this new company that I'm at right now, when we very first got started, I asked some very clear questions. Do you work on the weekends? What does overtime look like? And what are your actual hours of operation? Because as a leader in the company, I need the owner of the company, the president of the company, to know that when I leave this building, it's me time. I have given you my time that is based on the paycheck that you have given me. And after that, I'm not going to respond to text messages. I'm not going to answer any of your work emergencies. I don't work in like healthcare, so I don't have to worry about those things. So there's no real emergency happening. It's going to have to wait until I get back. But I was very clear from the day that I started. This is where I am going with my life. This is what I am willing to give you. And when this is done, I am about me. I am about my family. I'm about the things in my life that I am doing to move forward with life because I have a plan. The current work situation is just a bridge. It is what I am doing in order to get to where I want to go. And I am adding as much value as I can. And that word no holds a lot of value. There have been times when I've been asked in a lot of different work situations, hey, can you just go do this? Well, that one time turns into 10 times because then people know they can come to you, and until you say no, it is not that I don't want to. It is that I have other things in my life that hold more value. And if you don't respect that, I don't need to work here. I know as I say that out loud, for some of you that may feel very uncomfortable and difficult, and the word no is very uncomfortable and difficult, but it is pivotal. And the more that you use it in the right frame, the more that it will serve you in your journey. You need to be very clear and very concise, You need to express your vision for life with others. That is the whole point to getting connected. And when people understand where you are going, then they will understand what it feels like when they hear the word no. They know it's not coming from you just not caring. They know it's coming from you are only saying no because you're working on you. Sometimes that word no just means I'm too tired. It means I actually do just want to sit down and watch Netflix for the day. That's not as popular as it was 10 years ago, but it is still a thing that I do to just unwind, I'm not even paying attention. I don't even remember half the stuff I watched. I'm just letting my mind do its thing, and I'm just relaxing so that I can let go of some stress, let go of some anxiety, let go of some worries, and then get back into what I want for my life. If you were trying to add more value at work and you feel like you're the only go-to guy, then instead of feeling so bad about saying the word no because you feel like you're the only dependable person, which might be a thing you need to consider if that's how your business is operating, I highly recommend that you help with the outsourcing. Who else can help? What else can we do? What else does this look like? Let's sit down and build a different plan because I feel like I am the only one you can come to. And that is putting a lot of pressure on me that is not fair. That value does not hold any place in my life. It only holds place in the business life, and we need to be in this together. So let's look at outsourcing. Let's look at what else can be done in order to relieve some of the pressures and stress from people here in the building, from myself and from others. These boundaries are very important. Now to home. Okay. For parents, I feel like this is a very important way to teach your children the feelings and understanding that they are not going to always get what they want. It is okay to tell your children no, but it's how you go about things that creates the biggest change in the way things are going for your spouse. If you find yourself in situations where you feel like you just keep getting asked of things and you feel obligated because you're married, my opinion is you got that all wrong. I tell my wife no. It's not often because she doesn't ask of that much from me. However, if I am in a place where I don't want to go to a family function, where I don't want to be around a certain person, okay? Part of this whole situation with setting boundaries is you need to evaluate, and that's what we're going to get into next when it comes to friends. You need to evaluate those around you. But with home life, me and my wife sat down after I first had my experience of just working too hard, and I was bringing it home, and I was really just taking it out on her unintentionally, but it's still going to happen. If you're not built to work all the time, that is just not how we're wired. I don't care what anybody says about this hustle hard environment. That's a bunch of BS. Okay. If you're going to spend the next 10 years of your life trying to build something that you don't want to stand for because you're just trying to buy a Lamborghini or get this big house that isn't going to matter as soon as your kids move out, and now you got 6 bedrooms, 5 of which you don't know what to do with, then you're doing it all wrong. These again are boundaries. Boundaries with yourself. What am I wanting to build, and how am I wanting to build it, and what does it need to look like, and how do I need to stay safe in the situation? I have met with too many business owners that are stressed because they have not set boundaries. I have met with too many married couples who are stressed, and the biggest problem in fights that they have gone into is that there were no clear boundaries. In my relationship, we call them ground rules. My ground rules are, I don't like to mow the lawn. It's not that I'm afraid of the work. We all know I'm not afraid of the work. I just don't like it. It itches. I don't like grass very much. It is time consuming in a way that doesn't serve me versus what I could do if I just hired someone. Now, there are times when I will, because my wife would prefer that we take care of our own lawn, and she loves to get out in the garden and she loves to mow the lawn. That is just what she does. Well, love is probably a stretch, but she enjoys working on this home because I actually came into this relationship and she had a home. And now I'm just adding value to it. But I was very clear. These are the things that I don't like to do. And if we are going to do said things, I want to be a part of the decision making and the structure that goes with it. So let's just build a plan. Let's not just do things on the fly. If you are planned and vigilant about your steps, it's easier to create boundaries. Take your wife or husband out to dinner and just sit down and say, hey, I want to just set some boundaries today. These are the things that I am struggling with. And these are the things that I need to do in order to become a better person for myself. And in return, that will automatically be a better person for you. And so these are the rules. I have a very simple way of dealing with things in my life, and it comes with a very strict set of boundaries that I have set. And so I have boundaries with certain people in my family that I do not like to be around. I don't agree with some of the things that are going on in their lives. And it carries over into me when I am around the situation. I'm aware of it, and so I set the boundaries. I just don't need to be around you. We will always be related. I will always love you on a familial level and always have a love for you. But I don't agree with your lifestyle, and that is okay. I don't have to. I am not the end-all, be-all to life. You don't have to agree with my lifestyle. I'm okay with that too, and a lot of people don't. So I don't want those people around me, and I don't want to be around those people. So I have set very clear boundaries. I've had very clear discussions with my parents and with others on what I am willing to do, because my mental health is not for sale to anybody. It is not up for grabs for anybody. I am not going to sacrifice my anxiety, my stress, the things that I will carry home afterwards, just so that you can get an hour of my day and stress me out, in which I'm going to carry that and be frustrated about it and not have proper conversations when I get home with my wife about things. It's not worth it to me. So I've evaluated my family and the situations that I do not want to be in, and I have set the boundaries with them. If you call me and you ask me for something, I have set with the boundaries with my friends and my family. If I can, then I will. If I can't, I'm going to tell you no. I want you to understand that. It is not because I don't love you. It is not because I don't want to. It is because when you asked, I had something else that for me is more important, and you need to respect that. And if you don't respect that, that's okay, but that's your problem, not mine. I have also done this with friends. You will notice as you, let's see what's the best way to put this. If you are the person that has just a lot of friends, then there's a good chance that you're just really struggling with codependency. You just really need a lot of people around you at all times because you don't like being with yourself. I recommend seeing a therapist, a life coach, or some professional that can help you deal with that, because for most happily successful people, their circle has gotten much smaller, and is because they have evaluated the people around them and gotten in line with those that serve them in the same way that life needs to serve them. So set yourself a schedule with your own boundaries. Get off the social media so damn much and start chasing after the things that you want. Learn to tell yourself no. I remember when I first started making a lot of money, I struggled with telling myself no because I was just buying a bunch of dumb crap. And when I look back and measure the amount of money I spent on things that I no longer own and on the things that I never really used, it is insane. I probably could have bought a house, cash. Now we're talking about many, many, many years. However, it's because I didn't set boundaries with myself. I didn't learn to tell myself no. I didn't understand that I love the idea of having the thing more than the thing, and I just wanted to buy something because I knew I had the power to do it. I wasn't looking far enough forward. So as you are learning boundaries, understand that the forward progress is the reason why the boundaries need to exist. I need certain things to be blocked out of my life in order for me to stay focused on where I need to go. And as I evaluated my friends, I keep a very tight-knit group of people around me. The greatest thing about that is that they are actually my people. I would consider them family at this point. That if I call and I need something and they are available, I will get help. If it is an emergency, I will always sacrifice for friends and family because that is a small amount of time that I need to give up in order to serve someone else, and that is the ultimate goal. But the reason I'm able to do that, and I use the word sacrifice because I believe linguistically it's what you're going to understand better, but it doesn't genuinely feel like sacrifice to me. I keep myself full all the time through my selfishness, and my selfishness means that everything is about me first. My cup stays full so that it can runneth over. And when my cup runneth over, that is when a lot of you who don't know what sacrifice looks like and don't know what selfishness looks like and don't understand the difference between the two struggle because you're not full, and then someone calls on you and it just builds a resentment because now you feel obligated because you're too afraid to use the word no and you're too afraid to set boundaries, guidelines, rules, understanding. Life has had this structure since the beginning. Your parents were setting boundaries in the beginning of your life. Don't go play in the street. Don't do drugs, which didn't work very well on either account in reality for me, but I at least understood there was a reason why these boundaries existed. That after I got hurt playing in the street and after I went down my long road of drugs, I then understood why those boundaries existed. But the way to set those boundaries in a way that actually help and serve you is to understand what it feels like to tell yourself no first and do it with empathy, okay? I don't do anything from this jerk like no kind of a situation. It is I'm not saying no, I'm saying not right now. And I've used that with my wife. It is not no, I don't want to go mow the lawn. It is when we came home from vacation and you jumped right out back and started mowing the lawn, not right now. I wasn't ready for that. And so I didn't do anything about it. And we had a discussion about it. We set some ground rules, some boundaries. And then moving forward, we haven't had to talk about it. That is because I took the time to set the boundaries. Set the boundaries with yourself. Set the boundaries with your friends. Set the boundaries with your family. Take the time to set these boundaries. Definitely set boundaries at work. I know this is the hardest one for most of you because you're like, they'll fire me. I don't worry about that because I add value every single day that I go to work. I go to work, I give 100% of myself. I try to learn, grow, understand, communicate, and do everything I can to add value to that place so that when I say the word no, it's okay, because it would cost more to lose me because I said no than it would to fire me. Like if you're going to lose me, or just keep me, sorry, but if you're going to lose me because I said no, because I am more important, because I have a life outside of this place and there isn't a dollar amount that you can put on it in order to make it worth my while. You can tell me you're going to pay me $350 an hour to leave my wife for a month. And I mean 350, 400, 500,000, doesn't matter, an hour, 24/7 for that whole entire month. And I would not leave my wife to go do that, because that's not a life that I want to live. And there's no dollar amount that you can put on the time that I have lost with my wife. My time holds more value than any business, any person, anything, anywhere can circumvent and be different for me. Like there is no dollar amount. You pay me $1 million an hour. If I'm going to lose my time with someone that is more important, I'm not going to do it. It's just not going to happen, because my time holds a priceless value. And I encourage you to consider your time priceless as well. You can always earn more money. You can never earn more time. So learn to set boundaries. Learn to take care of yourself first. Be selfish. It's okay. Embrace the word no. There is nothing wrong with that. If you are watching this channel, it is because I believe you are of pure good heart and you genuinely just want to grow and become the greatness and the person and everything that you were meant to be. And in order to do that, those around you need to understand that if they don't, they are not your people. I don't care if they're family. I have cut off family because I am more concerned with me. Because if I'm going to give up me for someone else, and I'm going to pay the ultimate price for that, and I will never get that back, then how has that really added value to life as a whole? I need to worry about me. I need to worry about when and how and why I say the word no. I deal with it in an empathetic form and fashion. So if you haven't learned this yet and you are struggling with this, sit down with your boss and just say, hey man, this is a lot right now. Or hey woman, I'm not trying to go down that road. Just, hey, this is a lot right now. And I need to take care of me. And if you don't respect that, then I understand that. But that is still my decision. And let the chips fall where they may. You'd be amazed at when you just stand up for yourself in an empathetic form and say, hey, I need to deal with me right now. And if you end up losing your job or having to move on, I will literally bet everything that I have on the fact that a better opportunity is waiting around the corner for you. Because the minute you embrace yourself and the minute you stand up for yourself and the minute you set boundaries for yourself, for your work, for your home, and for your friends, you will begin to declutter all of the crap out of your life that is causing all of this stress, anxiety, worry, possible depression. All of these things are happening because you've allowed too many things in your life that you can't say no to. And it is overwhelming your life because you haven't set clear boundaries and expectations for people. Communication is the greatest form of empathy when done the right way. Not just what you say, how you say it, even the tone of your voice. If you notice yourself getting stressed, take a break from the situation, come back to it in a minute. Nothing's going to go anywhere. All your problems are still going to be there. So please embrace the word no. Set some very clear boundaries. Be empathetic about it. Explain yourself in a clear way of why. Why is this so important to me to have this boundary? And anybody that doesn't respect it, understand it, and honor it can get out. Thank you. If you've watched this far, you're a real one. I love you. I'm really focusing on trying to add more value to you and add more value to your situation in life, because I believe that currently in my space, I am in an amazing place and I am still continuing to grow, and I have very clear boundaries in my life. I have very clear expectations in my life. I have a very clear understanding of where I am going and why I am going there. And I would love for you to experience the same type of joy and freedom that I am experiencing on a daily basis, even when what you would consider is a bad day. I just don't see it the same way anymore. And it is the most freeing feeling on the planet. And I want that for you. So if you like this video, please comment down below. List some of the things you're struggling with. I will reach back out. I'll do another video if you want a little more clarity in this, but I just don't want to drag these videos out because I could talk about this stuff for hours and I just don't need to do that. Let's just stick to the point. Thank you. I love you. You're a real one. See you next time.